Many of us are familiar with Gotham's famous Commissioner James Gordon. But did you know that his son, James Gordon Jr., might be one of the most violent serial killers Gotham has ever seen? You see, we are in a period where Batman is presumed to be dead. And during this time, Dick Grayson, better known as Nightwing, takes on the role as Gotham's new Batman. And while he protects Gotham from various forms of evil, Commissioner James Gordon is about to experience the surprise of his life.
Gordon.
It's Harvey. I'm at the aviary. I got something you should see.
I'm listening.
Jim, I think it's something you should see for yourself.
I'll be there in 15.
Jim goes to the crime scene and Harvey explains that around 6 in the evening, cages in the aviary opened, freeing all the birds. Gordon observes the scene and dismisses it as a minor criminal matter, expressing annoyance at Harvey for waking him up. But that's when he tells him that this is not the reason he called him.
So Hattie, he sends me and my guys down here to look over the surveillance footage, see if we spy anyone suspicious coming out of the aviary toward the end of the day. Choice assignment, right? Anyway, I'm looking through the last hour of tape, barely paying attention, until I notice this guy exiting the main hall real late, right at closing. You seeing who I'm seeing, Jim? Jim.
And James Gordon is shocked to see that it's his son. He quickly rushes into his car and drives home, expecting to find his son waiting there. However,
What the?
he sees a trail of blood in his room.
Who's here? Show yourself. James?
But it's just a giant hawk with a dead rat.
Go on! Get the hell out of here!
But that's when we see that his son was watching him the entire time. Jim quickly goes to see his daughter Barbara and tells her that her brother is back in Gotham. Barbara gets frustrated and tries to leave, but when Gordon stops her, she explains that for years she tried to keep an eye on him. But every time he manages to disappear because he's smart, cunning, and incredibly dangerous.
I'm under no illusions about what kind of person James is, Barbara.
He's a killer, Dad. A killer. And I know what you're thinking, even if you never say it. Even if you won't admit it to yourself, you're thinking there's no proof. And you're right. There's never any proof. He just happens to be there when bad things happen by coincidence. Over and over.
Barbara grabs her father's hand and tells him that she's been through some really scary things. However, it's her brother who still gives her nightmares.
I'm sorry. I have to go.
Wait, Barbara.
His daughter leaves, and a waitress approaches Gordon, who is visibly stressed about his son's return. He begins to massage his head in an attempt to calm down. But that's when...
Hi, Dad. Been a while.
his son shows up. He explains to his father that he's not here to upset him or Barbara, and Gordon quickly confronts him about the aviary. However, James Gordon Jr. says that he has no idea what his father is talking about. And when Jim tells him that he saw him on camera, James responds that he simply went there to have a good time.
You know what? I'm done.
Jim decides to leave, but then his son stops him and asks for 2 minutes of his time, promising to not bother him anymore if he listens. But that's when Jim sees something important.
What's that on your shirt?
It's blood, Dad. I killed a waitress while you were talking to Barbara. Her head is stuffed in the toilet of the men's room. I'm joking. It's just ketchup, see? I'm sorry.
Jim gets annoyed by his son's jokes, but decides to listen to him. Junior then starts saying sorry for his past and how he never meant to hurt the family. But his father gets mad and accuses him of being a killer, even though there's no proof, mentioning a few murders in Gotham, one involving Barbara's friend, Bess Keller. But James simply responds with,
I never hurt Bess.
Yeah, well, Barbara thinks different.
Junior then explains to his dad that he is a changed man and that he is currently trying to work on his mental state. He admits that after realizing he still wants to hurt people, he he decided to go to a mental hospital for help.
I met good doctors there, really good doctors. An expert in psychopathology, and that was the start for me.
The start of what?
Of this, Dad. Of getting better. Because here is what I've learned. I am a psychopath.
He then reveals a bottle of pills and describes how he's enrolled in a new drug study. He claims that these pills help him suppress his psychopathic tendencies, enabling him to live a regular life. And then he shares his desire to help people similar to him, asking his father to put in a good word for him with the Waynes, as he's applied for a job and doesn't want their interference. And that's when we learn that Dick Grayson, Gotham's new Batman, is actually a close childhood friend of James.
I should leave, but I'm staying at the Riverview boarding house, room 7. It's good to see you, Dad.
And that's when he leaves. Jim spends a lot of time thinking about his son, wondering if his son is truly being sincere. However, that's the moment Gordon recalls Barbara's friend Bess Keller, the girl who vanished under mysterious circumstances. The same girl Jim accuses his son of harming.
I never hurt Bess.
You see, since Junior was a little kid, Gordon noticed something wasn't quite right with him. So he and his ex-wife, who's also named Barbara, took him to a lot of doctors. But every time they went, they kept hearing bad news.
I brought him to another doctor.
And?
And it's not autism.
But then a long time ago, Jim and his family went on a trip. That's when James Gordon Jr. met Barbara's friend named Bess. The girls explained that they both got a science kit and always shared it. Bess kept the key, while Barbara had the kit, so they could only open it when they were together.
Can I see it?
Sure, it's heavy though. Here.
Junior tries to force open the kit, causing Bess to snatch it away and scold him. He explains that he only wanted to open it in case something happened to Bess, so Barbara could still use it.
What?
This makes the girls even more uncomfortable, prompting them to leave him alone. After a while, Bess decides to head home, still holding the key in her hand. But then suddenly she hears something in the woods, and...
Anything?
Not yet. The others are still looking.
Jim, we're doubling back. Over.
Got it. We should have more eyes up here any minute. Over.
Tell him, honey.
Tell me what?
I saw something in James's hand, Dad. There was something in it, and I think it was Bess's keychain.
Her keychain? What are you saying, Barbara?
I'm saying, I think he did something to her, Daddy.
Jim goes to his son's room to investigate, and is shocked to see that his son has somehow managed to unlock the science kit that belonged to the girls, suggesting that he may have done something to Bess to obtain the key. His son explains that he used a knife to open it, but Jim doesn't believe him, so he grabs him and starts yelling, asking him to tell the truth.
I didn't do anything, Dad. I was here the whole time.
No more lies!
But that's when Gordon's second wife, Sarah, runs into the room, stopping Gordon and leaving the mystery unsolved.
God damn it.
James Gordon? Is that you?
Hello, Dick.
We are back in the present day, and we see Dick Grayson talking with James. As they begin reminiscing about their childhood, they come to the realization that it has been 12 years since they last saw each other. Dick recounts that the last time he saw James was when a boy named Ben Wolfe took James's glasses and buried them. To their surprise, James reveals that he recently encountered Ben.
He lives over on the east side. He was nice as could be.
But that's when Grayson informs James that he has to go somewhere. So he says his farewells and leaves. But then we witness James walking through the city streets, and for some reason, he walks to Ben Wolfe's house and collects his mail. He goes inside and heads to the basement. And that's when we see...
Hello, Ben. Guess who I just met with? Your old friend, Dick Grayson. Now, where were we?
The next day, James Gordon heads to see Leslie Tompkins, Gotham's well-known doctor, to check on how his son is doing, as she was the one who offered him employment. And Leslie tells Gordon that everyone loves him here in the hospital. He's making a lot of friends, rekindling old connections. Junior walks in and thanks his father for looking after him. That's when Leslie explains that James even volunteered to do nutrition runs for Gotham's infants.
I should go too. I have to get back.
Of course.
Okay then, see you soon.
Dad, thanks for coming by.
But that's when we discover the real reason why Jim visited the hospital. You see, he decided to steal one of his son's treatment pills and test it. So after taking them, he goes to Barbara and gives her the pill. Barbara is surprised and asks why he didn't use the Wayne family's crime lab. Jim explains that this is a family matter and should stay within the family.
Okay, let's do it.
And that's when we find out the horrible truth.
My God.
Junior successfully flipped the formula, revealing that the pills don't calm his psychopathic tendencies. Instead, they have the potential to induce them in others. Barbara quickly explains to her father that luckily the potency in the formula is very low, so the pills can't work on adults.
Oh no!
What is it?
But that's when Jim remembers that Junior has volunteered to do nutrition runs in the hospital, meaning he is poisoning Gotham's children with them. So Gordon swiftly jumps into his car and speeds toward James Jr.'s apartment.
James, come out and...
But he's nowhere to be found. Jim notices an odd box and decides to open it. And that's when he discovers Bess's key. Gordon's partner Harvey Bullock walks in and explains that they have to go because Joker has escaped prison. Jim realizes that the Joker might be after his family, so he quickly calls his ex-wife Barbara and instructs her to meet up with hotel security for safety. That's when she hears a knock at the door and decides to open it, assuming it's them.
I'm pulling up downstairs now. Barbara! Barbara! What's happening?
But it's not. Jim quickly runs to her room and notices a bloody shower curtain. And when he opens it, he finds his ex-wife, who was injected with Joker's toxin. Gordon brings her to Batman, who manages to remove the poison and assures Gordon that she's going to survive. Then, Batman decides to track down Joker, leading to a confrontation where they get into a fight. Batman manages to overpower him and then begins yelling at him, instructing him to leave Gordon's alone. But that's when Joker calls Dick an idiot, because he was not the one who poisoned Barbara.
You idiot! It wasn't me!
And that's when everyone realized.
Hi there, sis. Aren't you happy to see me?
That James Gordon Jr. is behind all of this. That's when he abducts Barbara and brings her to a spooky, dim place. Gordon attempts to locate her, but without any success. Batman then calms Gordon down and explains that he's going to find her.
They're going to find you, you know. And when they do, you'll never see the light of day again.
Junior tells her he doesn't really care much because he's not afraid of anything. However, he opens up to his sister, explaining that the first time he felt something like fear was the day he met her, as he believed Barbara always saw him for who he really was.
You're good, sis. Real good. Hey, take a look. Go on. They're stuck right in your femoral arteries. Careful. If you pull either one out, you'll bleed to death in a matter of minutes.
James proceeds to discuss the Joker, recounting how he came to meet him, and continues to delve into his past criminal activities. However, Barbara simply tells him he's just another criminal from Gotham, no different from the others, because instead of killing her, he's subjecting her to a long, boring speech.
You are right, sister. You are always right.
So he removes the knife from her leg, leaving her to bleed.
Hello?
Red Robin?
No, it's me, James. James Gordon. Are you there, Dick? It's hard to tell when you use that strange voice. Would you mind using your natural one?
Junior reaches out to Batman, pointing out that it's not difficult to deduce the identity of the new Batman, given the long-standing relationship between Gordons and the Waynes. And then he proceeds to explain that after being a serial killer for a while, he actually decided to try a treatment to stop his psychopathic tendencies. But at the hospital, he realized that psychopaths are not the damaged ones. Regular humans are, because empathy is the greatest human weakness. So after seeing Batman on TV, he understood that he needs to remove people who weaken humanity, because those like him are Gotham's future.
In the end, all I needed was a distraction, something to get you looking the other way, so I'd have time to get my sister.
Grayson proceeds to inform James that they're fully aware of his plan to poison Gotham's children into becoming psychopaths. However, Junior calmly suggests that perhaps they've already uncovered this information too late.
You don't. I guess you'll just have to wait a decade or two and see what Gotham looks like then. But like I said, I'm here to challenge you. So here's your challenge. In a moment, I'm going to finish killing my sister. You'll find her body soon enough. And before leaving town, I'll kill my father.
But then he notices that his sister has managed to hide somewhere.
I love this game. I play it all the time. I hope you picked someplace hard to find, because here I come.
I'm done hiding from you!
Oh, you shouldn't have done that, sis. You could have just told me you wanted to play tag instead.
Junior gets up and starts chasing his sister.
I'm getting closer and closer, and I've got you.
Hey, Junior. Can I play too?
Dick.
Shh. I'm going to cauterize the wounds.
But how? Did you? How?
Your brother and I, when we met for lunch, I put a tracer on him. All right, here we go. Come on. Babs, stay with me.
Dick, don't let him get away.
Don't worry. He's about to have a Gotham moment of his own.
Do you see freedom?
Not this time, James.
Dad, wait!
No.
With both of his legs shot, Junior releases his grip, but his father manages to catch him, telling him that he won't allow Junior to escape.
I'm not letting you go!
Come on, you little piece of...
The following day, Gordon pays Batman a visit. They start talking about Junior, and Dick elaborates that if Junior indeed tainted the baby formulas as he claimed to have done long ago, then there's really nothing they can do now.
My honest opinion is that it's unlikely. There would have been greater residual material.
But it's possible.
It is.